Time for the deep dive. Fire the cannon. Brady Kannon, SBR contributor and golf expert. Time to talk the Masters. Brady, let's start with weather and potential wind. How could that affect the course in this tournament?
Well, it might affect it a little more than we thought last week, Pauly. They're calling for 10 to 15 mile an hour winds pretty much every day. Looks like it'll be a little bit calmer on Sunday. But that 10 to 15 has increased a little bit. There is a chance of showers on Friday. And PGA Tour standards, and as good as these players are, a 10 mile an hour wind or less won't affect too much. But when you start to get into the 12 to 15, 19 mile an hour winds, that's certainly going to play some tricks on these guys. And Augusta National, the course is so old and mature. These trees are very, very high. So it's often very difficult to even tell what direction the wind is blowing because it's so high up in the trees, and it won't necessarily be something you can feel down on the ground, on ground level at the golf course, but it will affect your ball when it gets up above the tree line.
Do you like to play guys that are on fire on a nice run here, or are you always looking for value or potential long shots?
Well, a little of both, really. I mean, you have to consider current form. Guys, you don't want to necessarily back guys that are really struggling because when you get to a major championship, it's not a place that you can just flip a switch and turn your game around. So you do have to look at guys that are currently playing well, have a top 10 or 2 on the season, maybe even a win. And you also have to look at course form, how they've played this tournament before. Yeah. You do want to look at long shots too, but there are some factors. This stat, it's widely publicized. A Masters rookie has not won this tournament since Fuzzy Zoeller did 38 years ago. So you have to have some experience on the course, and I do look at current form as well.
All excellent points. How about Bubba Watson's chances?
Well, he's a guy that's flying a little bit under the radar, and it's interesting that you bring him up. I mean, he's only won this thing twice, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to discount him too much. Now, I've seen odds about as high as 40, maybe a little more than 40 to 1. I believe locally in town he's closer to 30 to 1. But I would say at something more than 40 to 1, he's pretty good value. Obviously, he's got course form, having won here twice before, but he doesn't have great current form. He's not playing great Bubba Watson golf yet this year. He's switched his golf ball, and you wouldn't think switching a ball takes a lot of adjustment, but it has for Bubba so far.
How about Jon Rahm? Tell people about this guy, and he was 100 to 1. And now he's down to 20 in some plaplaces.
Yeah, he's really amazing, and he's a lot of fun. Great for the new landscape of golf. A young 22-year-old Spaniard that went to Arizona State. And, they talked about him not too long ago on one of the tournament broadcasts that he plays a lot of golf with Phil Mickelson. Mickelson's brother is his coach. And, of course, Mickelson went to ASU, so they play a lot of rounds together casually, and Mickelson said, I can't beat this guy. And that was proven when he went all the way to the finals with Dustin Johnson in the match play just 2 weeks ago. This guy's the real deal, and, yeah, if you've got a ticket with him at 100 to 1, that's a great spot to be in. I jumped on board when he was 40 to 1, but you're right. Now he's down to 20 to 1 and even less.
Why the big move on Thomas Pieters, who was 200 to 1, and now you're seeing 40 to 1, top 50 player?
Yeah, Thomas Pieters is another guy like Jon Rahm who's really just stormed onto the scene. And he is a Masters rookie like Rahm as well. So, they've got that going against them, but they are both excellent players. Pieters went to the University of Illinois, but he's from Belgium. He's got a lot of distance. He's a really good putter. And those are two things that that fit into the Masters formula. Hit it long and putt really well, and Pieters has that.
Golf expert Brady Kannon, our guest, SBR contributor at Las Vegas Golfer on Twitter. How about Koepka, Jimmy Walker, both 75 to 1?
I like them both, Pauly. Jimmy Walker hits the ball a long ways and putts well. Those are two of the very important things that you're going to need at Augusta. And Koepka's the same exact way. Hits the ball a really long way and has an excellent short game. Now, Jimmy, I like him because he got that first major last year at the PGA. So he's got that monkey off of his back, so to speak. But, that might not be the correct term, but I think more so he's shown the ability where he can handle the pressure down the stretch and win a major championship. And having done that once, I think that gives him a good chance to do it again, whether it be here or down the road at a future major. He's got that experience now and what it takes to win a championship of this nature. Brooks Koepka, he has not won a major yet, but he's done well at the Masters in just 2 appearances, finished 33rd and 21st. And like I say, he's got the skill set to do well here. You can get him at about 60 to 1 or so, and his odds actually have gone up. He started out at about 40 to 1 and up now to 60 to 1 because he has not started this year out well. He made an equipment change. His scrambling stats, you really need to be a good scrambler at Augusta, and typically Koepka's been pretty good, but he's ranked in the lowest half of the PGA Tour this year, over 200 and something in tour scrambling this year. So we'll see if he can turn that part of his game around this week, but otherwise he does have the tools.
How about the chalk and the heavy hitters? DJ, Phil, Spieth, McIlroy, what do you think?
Well, I think McIlroy is really interesting. It's hard to get a take on what he's going to do this week. When he showed up at the WGC Mexico, he did very, very well, and we were unsure what he would do because he was coming off of a rib injury that he suffered back in January. He seems to be in perfectly fine form. I think it'll come down to putting for Rory. He had the 54-hole lead here in 2011 before shooting an 80 on Sunday and fell back all the way to 15th place. It's the only major he needs to complete the career Grand Slam. And I think when Rory is at his best, he can beat anybody, even Dustin Johnson. And Johnson, I think he can beat anybody right now the way he's going. He's won 3 tournaments in a row. He won the Genesis in L.A., he won the WGC Mexico, and just 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago rather, won the WGC Match Play. And that's a tough thing going against him, if you will. Can he win a 4th tournament in a row? That has not been done since Tiger did it, I believe, in 2008. So, to win 4 events in a row like that is a lot of not only physical, but a lot of mental pressure, what it takes to get to the finish line in a golf course. But you can't argue the way he's playing right now. He deserves to be the favorite. I wouldn't be surprised if he won. And I'll tell you, Pauly, one of the reasons he is the favorite and one of the reasons he's the #1 player in the world right now is because he's improved his scrambling and putting tremendously. We always knew Dustin Johnson could bomb the ball and hit greens in regulation and could really overpower a golf course, but now he's really added that touch game around the greens, and that makes him very powerful at Augusta.
Anything else we should look out for? Other people out there maybe I didn't mention you want to throw maybe $10 on or somebody out there?
Well, I think you've nailed a lot of the good plays. Thomas Pieters, John Rahm, Rahm is not such a long shot anymore. Pieters certainly is. Another guy is Tyrrell Hatton. The Englishman has been on fire, finishing in the top 10 in 4 out of his last 5 events. A lot of people really like him this week because he can really get hot with the putter. Paul Casey's another Englishman that a lot of people are high on. Great ball striker, was excellent in the match play, and has finished 4th here last year and 6th the year before that. You can find him at about 40 to 1. The Masters is an interesting tournament. It's been, 8 out of the last 10 years that you'd have to be ranked in the top 30 in the world to have been a winner. So you really are looking at a pretty chalky event when you consider it's going to come down possibly to the top 30 ranked players in the world. The other thing is you have a small field. It's only 95 players. And if you could throw out all those rookies, with a rookie having not won in 38 years, now you trim that field even further. So, they play the same golf course year in and year out. It's the only major that does that. So you can look at a lot of trends and how this thing plays out year in and year out. And, you can probably whittle it down to maybe 15, 20 guys that should win this thing.
Excellent job as always. Thanks for 5 great minutes, and we'll talk to you for the next major. Good luck out there, Brady.
Thanks, Pauly.
Hey, guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.